Joe, what was it like to see Jonathan there this weekend and follow in his footsteps as tournament MVP and OVC Player of the Year? What was it like to be with him this weekend throughout all this?
It was good. Since he was here last year, I learned a lot from him and got to see what it takes to be a good player. And really just, it was good. I was actually surprised to see him there the night before we played.
On one of the plays in the game against Jacksonville State, you took it in and scored, and you're slapping hands with the other players after the basket. And you come to Coach McMahon and you patted him on the head. Is there a story behind that?
Nah, it's just probably something that just happened.
How much are you going to lean on last year's NCAA experience as you move forward to the tournament?
I wouldn't say not as much. Only thing I can say is I know what it feels like to be there, so I'll be a little more comfortable this year and just try to, again, lead these guys to a win.
Have you looked at the first round sites?
No.
Okay.
Will, what are the first round sites anyway? I'm not sure I've even.
It's Des Moines. Well, I mean, we can talk about it. There's
Tulsa.
Des Moines, Tulsa, Jacksonville, Columbia, Columbus, San Jose,
And then what?
Hartford.
and Hartford, Connecticut.
Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City, Utah.
So would South Carolina maybe be a good choice for you?
It would be a great choice.
A few people there?
Yeah, a lot.
The championship wrestling belts, whose idea was that, and what's the story behind that?
It's just something Coach Mack started, really just to say we're in tournament championship mode, and we did it last year and was able to come out with some wins. And once we get in that mode, that's when we bring out the belts, and it's just something Coach Mack, he's a big WWE fan. So.
You, I think it was last week we talked to you about how proud you were of Darnell Court and how far he'd come to work he's done, and you really saw that pay off in the second half the other night. Just tell me about the impact he had, how guys struggled without him in the first half of the championship game. He came in, I mean, fresh as can be.
It just shows how big of a presence he is for us and what he can do for us on the offensive end and also the defensive end. He took a big charge late in the game, and early in the second half, we just played through him and just allowed him to make decisions for us. And I think the first play, he got an assist to KJ and then scored, I think, 2 baskets back-to-back for us. So he's just a great player and just have a great feel for the game, and we just trust him in those situations.
I also want to talk a little bit about, I saw, I don't remember if it was you, but I know it was Shaq and Coach Mack. Friday night, Jason Brunell, I mean, dude played his heart out, got everything. And you guys went and consoled him. And then I think Ed mentioned this, Shaq helps the guard for Belmont up off the floor. This was during live action. Just you guys play hard against one another, and then suddenly, when at the end of the competition or anything like that, just about, I guess, the camaraderie that you have with common opponents.
I just can say is basically family. We all built on the same thing, and not only do we play, we're just great people. Like Shaq in the late game when Belmont player fell over, he helped him up, and after the win against Jacksonville State, we had conversations with Brunell. It just shows what type of people we are.
This may seem like a silly question, but how tough was it? Sometimes the OVC can be an easy run, but Jacksonville, Belmont, you didn't know maybe Austin Peay, you had to play them later in the season. How tough was it, those last 3 games, to really push for an OVC championship and a berth to the tournament?
It was very tough. It took a lot of toughness, and I can say us as a team and coaches just sit together and really just try to stick to what we've been doing. This is a great league. We have a lot of great players, great teams, and it just won't be easy. Like the first 4 in the OVC, it's always a great game that goes down to the wire. So it was some very tough games, but we was able to pull them out.
Also, Friday night, I've never seen you miss 5 free throws in a game. but you came back the next night and didn't miss any. How can you regroup in 24 hours and go from that to perfect?
Credit go to my dad. In high school, I missed a couple game winners and also some game-winning free throws. So he always used to just laugh at me when I was down on myself about it. So I was a little frustrated against Jacksonville State when I missed the 5 free throws. It was sometimes in the game where you can see me hit my head. But I was just talking to myself and then just try to be more focused at the free throw line. I was talking to myself throughout the whole game against Belmont at the free throw line just to relax and just follow through, and I was able to knock down free throws.
Hey, Josh, speaking of that, I noticed there late in the game, I can't remember how much time was left when you made your last 2 free throws, but the referee gave you the ball, and you did immediately step up to the line. You took a few deep breaths. Maybe just address, how exerted you guys are sometimes when you go to the free throw line and how you kind of calm yourself a little bit.
Playing a hard game like that, obviously you'll get a little fatigue. So I was just trying to take my time. I know I have like 10 seconds to shoot, so I just try to catch my breath at the start before I start my routine and just be able to use my legs and knock down the shot.
There was a big dunk you had in the second half against Belmont. At what point on that drive do you know I'm throwing this down?
I say once I got my shoulder in front of the first defender, I feel like I can take off from far, and I just seen a big gap, an opening in the floor, and I just took it and just went to finish the play.
Contrast your NCAA tournament last year, West Virginia, and then the atmosphere in Evansville Saturday night when you probably got about 9,000 fans. I mean, that's as many as you'll have at any venue wherever you happen to go, just the impact it has on you.
It feels good. I don't know if I would give the credit to who I would give the credit to, actually. Racer Nation is just great. They come out every night to support us, and we're very thankful for them. And just to have that many fans, the championship game, especially when we needed them, and I'll say that helped us to a win.
One other thing, I asked Matt about this too, and that was the court decals. You slipped on it a couple times, as Tevin did. That some of the other teams are having issues with it. I'm sure that's something that'll get fixed. You will not see it, but that can really impact the game and get somebody hurt, can't it?
Yeah, I think it's 2-0 against me right now. So, but I just feel like the stickers was kind of slippery. So I think in both games I slipped on it, and obviously it went to a turnover. So hopefully it'll be addressed and they look into it.
The other part, were you conscious of that, thinking I might not got to go into this spot real fast and slip?
Yeah.
Thinking about?
Throughout the whole game, really. I was a little hesitant, just thinking, trying to pick my spots. Normally I would just be more aggressive, but I had to think about the stickers or whatever. So.
What about Evansville as a site for the tournament? I assume you really like it.
I really don't know the difference between both places. I hear somebody talking about Nashville, some talking about Evansville. Both my years, I've been in Evansville, so a great gym, a great facility, also a great atmosphere. So it just feels good to be able to play in a gym like that.
I know you only had 3 assists on Saturday, and you still had 36 points, obviously, but it seems like teams like Belmont, SIUE the other time this season when you had 0 assists in the first half seemed content on taking away everybody else and letting you do the work. How do you navigate the difference between trying to find other teammates and finding yourself in a critical situation to score?
I really just try to read the defense. I feel like I can score the ball. So if it's not a lot of help, I'll just go finish the play. But if I see a defender helping a lot, I know that my teammates will be wide open. So I just try to read the defense before I even go, and whatever they give me, I'll take.